With the pandemic limiting gatherings nationwide, concerts have been canceled and the performance scene has been quiet, but for many musicians, the music hasn't stopped. Tonight, we introduce you to one of them, a rapper from Springfield who has been recording during this time of social distancing and who hopes to uplift people through the joy of his music.
God said to relax, relate, release. Give it to him, man. Relax, relate, release.
It was a private show at the Pan-African Historical Museum USA in downtown Springfield. Kevin Sampson, a father of 6, performed an original gospel rap with a little help from his youngest, 3-year-old Carolee.
I was always doing music, before I started doing gospel hip-hop, but it didn't go as far as I wanted to. God said, no, I need you to do my work. And so I've been doing it ever since.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, or K-Sam, has partnered with Sam Bradley, the executive director of PAMUSA, on a separate venture from the museum. Last year, they launched Spirit Life Entertainment, a Christian record label built right here in Springfield. Before the pandemic, K-Sam was performing quite a bit, booked at the Indie Soul Fest and the Stone Soul Fest last summer in Springfield. And Spirit Life produced this video of his song, How to Praise Him, on the riverfront.
I've had some people that didn't even like gospel rap, period. But when they heard my music, I saw their head doing this. As soon as you see that head doing this, or that feet, exactly, I got you. Because next you're going to listen to the words. And then you're going to be like, is that gospel music? Mm-hmm. I got you.
Sam has been involved in the local music scene for years, launching the band 91 North in 1989 and later DFO Records, both of which were part of the secular scene. More recently, he co-founded the Upper Room Music Group. He has promoted local artists such as the Latin Express from Holyoke, Steve Sticks Josie, and Elizabeth Goff. And after being in the business since he was a teenager, Sam also made the switch from secular to gospel.
When I first listened to Christian music, and it was Christian music that really touched me. That really, I felt that in my soul.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Sam explains how gospel music started off with spirituals back in the time of slavery and is a central part of the worship experience in African American churches. Through the years, big-name artists such as James Cleveland, Elvis, and Yolanda Adams have performed gospel favorites. Mandisa, a Grammy Award-winning gospel and Christian artist who was a contestant on American Idol, has also kept gospel mainstream with hits like Waymaker and Overcomer. Even rapper Kanye West has released 2 gospel albums. So you look at somebody like Lauren Daigle, who's a crossover artist, or Mandisa, who sings Waymaker, and these are artists that now are coming into like mainstream.
Yes.
People are like, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And they come in because they bring their experience from where they come from into that market. For instance, like gospel hip hop, gospel jazz, it is gospel R&B, gospel house music.
But for K-Sam, writing and performing gospel music, he says, came after a conversion of heart. He says he served time in jail in Florida as a young man for auto theft, a heartbreak, he says, for his mother and grandmother.
God sits you down. When he wants to get your attention, he'll sit you down, and he sat me down. And when he sat me down, a lot of stuff started coming to my head. I had a lot of time to think. I started thinking what Mama was telling me, trying to teach me what Grandma and all that was teaching me. So that's what he wanted me to do. Now tell me what happened.
And he says those lessons he's instilling in his own children. Sam has his own overcomer story. He suffered a stroke as a young man.
I had to go through rehabilitation, learn how to walk, learn how to talk. I didn't even know what a hammer was. I know what the hammer was, but I couldn't used to say the name. I didn't know who my mother was because I would lose, short-term ability to remember.
Give me your hand, you ready?
While their journeys were different, they crossed paths right here in Springfield and launched something they have faith will take flight and lift people up.
Praise, praise, praise. Maybe you just don't know.
And they both have this advice for young people who dream of one day making it in an industry that can be tough and competitive.
Yeah, you can make it here. Of course you can make it here, you know, once again. And I tell people, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, okay? Because Springfield is tough, but Springfield will give you that love. I said, if you just give up, you'll never make it.